Yeah, wait, where is it?
They're just straight Oklahoma. All right, this is what the fuck is. All right, and this is where we need to stop.
What do you mean?
Okay, now we're here. Now we're live. There's not even padding in the top.
I know, but now I can wear it.
You and your fucking. Oh my god! All right, yep. This is what we're rolling with. We have Cordy P. And whatever the fuck is on Jack's head over there.
You look like
you look like
you don't have a brain.
So if you guys are returning from last week, in this helmet, are you more or less convinced I could hit 15 yards on 10
I'm more
carries?
convinced you won't have a head at the end of your 10 runs.
All right. Matchup tonight. Kind of ass. Jets,
Go,
New
lock
England.
in. Let's go. Don't.
Yeah,
all right. Like some excitement. Let's
Jets,
go. We're on the betting
Jets,
streak.
New England, ass. But the spread is juicy at 6.5. New England last week was only a 4.5 spread, which is kind of interesting going against Seattle. So now we get a new look. That was, I think, even after the Kenneth injury and everything. But they've looked solid. They've looked very comparable compared to what we thought they were going to be. Obviously, Jacoby's played solid enough. Double H's is coming on now and is looking like a pretty good stud. Not only that, but Dougie's running the most routes. Hasn't been targeted really yet. I like his over today. I took it on the bets video. If you saw the YouTube video, I had it at 19.5. It's all the way up to 27.5 right now.
I just got it at 27 and a half. I'm such a fish.
So if you got it from either my tweet, my picket, I posted a picket like a few days ago. So if you got it from that, if you got it from the bets video, which went out yesterday, you got the line juicy at 20.5, 19.5, anywhere in that realm. Tons of thumbs downs from OBS today.
Is that the audience or you?
What, thumbing down?
Yeah.
It's like it does it automatically whenever you just do
Thumbs
something.
down for the boys.
Yeah, no, I'll do something stupid. But on the Jets side of things, also the points are kind of low, 38.5, obviously.
So the offensive line for New England is without their left tackle, left guard, center, and right guard.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And their right tackle has been limited in 3 straight practices.
And
So
coming into the year, they had the worst O-line in the NFL.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's bad.
Juwan
they're
Bentley,
in
their only good linebacker.
What did we say?
So that's why we just
What did we
quick-
say about an hour ago?
quick passes to Dougie.
Rodgers, the Jets -6 is free.
And if Kamala Harris runs that campaign, she could fix the budget deficit in America. Jets -6. That's the play. Also, there is some real data here. We were talking about this yesterday on our show. Big home favorites on Thursday night games, they cover and cover by a wide margin. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think it's Thursday night, it's kind of a what-if game. This could be a low-scoring game, whatever. But there's so many injuries. So many people are out.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like playground football. And the best teams tend to win and win big. That's why I love the Jets in this spot. It's a great chance to also fade New England. Like, New England,
They're due for a fade game.
yeah, they're playing. They are playing great.
Yeah.
And they've kind of convinced us all that maybe
there's a
gonna
shot,
hang around,
but
like
yeah.
Jacoby Brissett's yards are 160. He's a professional starting
I
quarterback.
took the lower. I made a slip with lower on that. Higher on Breece Hall. I think it was 15.5 rush attempts. And then lower on Ramondre, 63 rushing yards.
Sounds solid enough.
We do.
I like the
I'm
spots.
just a complete fade on the offensive.
Yeah,
Patriots in
yeah.
terms of
The only reason why I'm in on Dougie is simply that of I think it's going to be a lot of quick passes. What did you say?
I said I took that too. So.
Yeah. No, I think there's going to be a lot of quick passes. I think they're going to try to get the ball out early. And if you saw the interview earlier this week, they actually asked Jacoby about the frustrations that Dougie has been staying. I'm not getting targeted enough. He's obviously running the most routes on the team, so he should be seeing at least something. Hasn't really been anything so far, so I think this game they're going to try to force him to rock. Plus, again, playing the Jets, middle of the field, has been attacked every game they played so far. Obviously, San Francisco with more success than the Titans. But that's if you're going to attack somewhere on the Jets, it's going to be the middle of the field. Obviously, you're not going to the outsides with Sauce. So definitely going to take the higher on Dougie there. I also, again, like the rushing yards like you took with Breece. I took it at 62.5. Don't know where it's at now. but that's where I had it. Might be 61.5 now. It's been going down a little bit. And then Garrett at over 5.5 receptions. I think, honestly, he might hit this damn near in the first half again. Like, they come out in drives, and they'll just pepper him 4 times in a row. And they had him 11 targets in game 1. Obviously, they had to go away from him with the Jerry Sneed, but then they go right back to him. Christian Gonzalez obviously is a factor, but he's only going to be on him for about 10 snaps probably the entire game. He doesn't he doesn't shadow.
Well, why would he only be on for 10 snaps?
I'm saying because he doesn't – they're not going to put Garrett in situations where he's going to be on Gonzalez's side of the field.
Yeah.
You sure?
I would most likely that would probably be the game plan if I'm the Jets.
I mean,
But they're Nathaniel Hackett, though.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Hackett maybe will just put him straight field side every time and say, fuck it, go ahead.
Right.
But if I'm the Jets, I'm going to maneuver him to, if Christian's always field side, I'm playing him backside. If he's backside, I'm playing him field side, whatever the vice versa is, and go from there. Obviously, you saw DK last week, 10 receptions over 100 yards. You saw JSN, 12 receptions over 100 yards. And I think that could be a similar story here for Garrett. Unless, for some reason, Christian just comes out and now is a man guy and just playing straight coverage out of nowhere. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to see a ton of overshadow from Christian. And even if he does, I think Garrett is just simply more talented and will get the better of him a few times.
So I like the Jets' passing offense tonight. I'm a little worried about the Nathaniel Hackett effect. You would hope that Garrett would move around and they would get him in good matchups. The Jets' O-line has been pretty solid. The Patriots' D-line has not been generating, outside of Keon, a ton of pass rush.
Dude, he's good.
He's really good. I think that they could have a decent passing game, but because of the blowout, I'm not obsessed with the long-term vision for Rodgers tonight. Another first-half line, I called the first quarter line last week. Rodgers minus 27 passing yards versus Brissett in the first half. I think could be interesting. I could see a half.
Really?
Like Brissett fires up like 40 yards, and Rodgers throws for 100, and you're clear there. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking at.
If
But
you
not my $10,000 lock of the night. Stay tuned for that.
Okay. Do you think there's a world Brissett has a bad game this week? He's played like all right down the stretch. That we see Drake anytime soon?
With the injuries, I think they got to get at least their starters, which are miserable to begin with. You can't put Drake behind this O-line. So they're essentially using Brissett as an offering, as a sacrifice.
It's just
But
decoy.
Yeah, I mean, here's a different question. Let's say they do go out and win tonight, and maybe they talk themselves into, we're not as bad as everyone thought, but we would be even better with Drake. Could that get him in sooner? Or you think it's like once they're 1-5?
I feel like if Jacoby's winning games, why would you take him out of the game?
That would be the...
Even if he's not doing it like with crazy numbers, if he's running the offense to where it's efficient enough to win their games, and all they want to do is chew clock and run the ball.
Well, I wonder, I mean, you heard the reports that Drake May is taking a bunch of reps with the ones at practice, which is weird because they don't do that with backup quarterbacks. But you do wonder if they're just like grooming him straight up as soon as the O-line's ready for him to get in. Because there's just no way they're sitting there in the front office and saying Jacoby Brissett actually gives us a better chance to win. Like if their team is better than they expect, I mean, if the Patriots win tonight, that's like the ultimate bad look for the Jets.
Yeah, no, the Jets
At
are going to
home,
look.
They got Rodgers in a game where it's like we should easily win this, and if they lose, man, I don't know if we see Joe again.
I'll be locked
Joe would
into New York radio Friday morning. That would be wild.
Get rid of Rodgers, get rid of Saleh, get rid of
Hackett
everybody.
needs to be done 5 years ago.
I mean, that'd be. I almost feel like if they put up like less than 18 points tonight, Hackett should be gone tomorrow morning.
I feel like New England's defense hasn't looked that bad. But again, it's always like comparative to who they've been playing.
They look good against Cincy, and then last week they didn't look great.
They didn't look great. No, they had some blown coverages. Obviously, the DK wide open, no one touched him.
But JSN
touchdown doesn't look good.
11
JSN,
grabs.
but JSN had the quietest 12 grabs you'll ever have in your life.
Because it was like 6.
Yeah.
It was like 11.
No, literally,
11.
it was just peppering the middle of the field. Where they didn't have to attack the outsides of Christian Gonzalez or whatever. And honestly, they were using Lockett as a decoy for over half of that game. Where they would just run him on a post, clear him out. As soon as that safety cleared, boom, hit JSN right underneath him coming on the backside. And it's just like every single time it was the same thing. But again, they were if you remember, New England has the old Cleveland offensive coordinator. That's exactly what they used to do with Baker back in 2018. That's exactly what they did the past few seasons, where it just would be the number 2, the slot guy would just get those stupid middle of the field digs every single time. And now you're seeing it now with New England. I'm excited to see what Drake can do with this offense too. I think it'll be
you
interesting.
faded Ramondre.
I took the lower on both of their yardage. Yeah.
I'm a little nervous on the Ramondre thing. This is like a perfect spot to do it because they've just been hammering him with carries. The Jets' run D is pretty suspect, and a team like this who is so committed to running the ball, they're only ditching the run if it's like 21 in the fourth. Like even if it's 21
I just can't get my mind off of like Quinnen Williams versus backup centers.
Yeah.
No, that's gonna be rough.
So the way I played it was Antonio Gibson. Tony actually mentioned this, and then when I looked into it, his total yards of
38 total yards.
Yeah, 34 and a half. You're really good at getting the worst number possible.
Oh, you were going over.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were. I didn't put anything on.
No, I like Gibson. If they fall behind big, I think they can use him in the pass game. Sure. And if the Jets' run D is getting thrashed, he'll, he
where'd you get
work.
him? Where was the number?
34 and a half.
34 and a half?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a solid spot for sure. I like Gibson in the way he's used. It scares me though with where his lines are at outside of his like yardage. Like his rushing attempts every single week is at like 5, 6. So it's like if he only sees.
They do like he's someone they make a super concerted effort to get involved in like screen games.
Yeah,
and stuff,
no, yeah.
You know, he's got like
he's as a Ravens fan, he's kind of like Justice Hill. He almost has a role in every game outside of we're up 40 and you got your 6 carries and you didn't do well with them and we're just pounding rock. So, yeah, that's Tony's play. If it loses, that's on him. I paired it with Breece Hall first touchdown. I'm loving Breece the Beast tonight.
You like him to score?
I do. Okay. I like him to score. I like him to score by a rushing touchdown.
What's your formula here for first? Because that's like a big thing for you.
Yeah.
That's like a very popular bet now in the betting industry.
Yeah.
And maybe this is just like actually my first year thinking about the betting industry at all, or like actually covering it, probably because like Guts in here and we're doing it a lot more now. And maybe I'm around you guys, but like, has that always been a super popular play?
Yeah, it's been like
and it created first basket in basketball.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think really what took off like this season was the first basket in basketball. Like you saw all the bigger creators were doing parlays with that, and obviously all the like UDs and everything were putting them in.
I've been doing that for a while.
So what's your process in terms of going with like a longer shot who's like 12-1 versus like a Breece Hall who's obviously a heavy favorite to be
I rarely ride the heavy favorite, like very, very rarely, because it's terrible. I mean,
his value's
one
not
player
there.
to score at 3-1. It's like a really bad bet. So make sure you lock that in. but here's the difference. Like Saquon, they were 6.5 point favorites or 6.5, whatever you want to call it, against Atlanta. But you had Saquon at 5-1 versus Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Bijan, London. Like there's so much more talent on the field in that game versus here. Versus here, like you know exactly where even on the Jets specifically with Philly, you knew Hurts could score. You knew Saquon could run in. You knew Smitty could score. You even knew Goddard could be an option. Like, there's so many more guys. That's why if a touchdown gets scored tonight, that's
if the Jets are within the 10-yard line, it's either
going
Garrett
to Breece or Garrett, right? So I think you've got decent odds. And then the real way I've been playing it has been I'm normally fading the favorite. So I hit James Cook. Miami was 3-point favorites. And then I hit Derrick Henry. The Chiefs were 3-point favorites in that spot. The first touchdown score, from what I've found, it's pretty 50-50, even in games with heavy favorites. Now, if it's Cincy versus New England, like week 1, or the Ravens against the Raiders, it does tend to lean more in that direction. But, yeah, I like going away team a lot of the time. And always – whoever my first look is, it's never him.
From a strategy perspective, I know you more just like fuck it, we ball type vibes, but how much money are you going to like put on that in comparison if you're going to talk like units or whatnot to put on a leg where it is a plus 1,600, whatever the hell, or plus 800, where you only have the slimmest of odds comparatively to like a 3-leg parlay or something. Where is that money difference going?
So I don't know if it's a good strategy or not. Truthfully, it's worked out for me, but you need to have a large bankroll to do it. And large meaning whatever you're going to bet. So let's say you're betting $10, your bankroll, you need to be able to withstand losing 20 units and be down 200 because you're playing these big long shot. But on first touchdown, I have $100. Okay. If I bet the Jets -6 tonight, I might have 100. I might have 250 if I really love it. So it's not like I'll see a lot of people who do like 0.1 unit on a long shot. I'm playing it because, truthfully, I think he's got just as good of a chance of scoring first as I do with like someone who's like the worst bets in the world that I actually cringe at are the people who bet like a -110 and it's 4 legs of like alt numbers. It's like Ramondre to have 40 rushing yards, Brees to have 40, Garrett Wilson to have 40, and Roger to throw for 200. It's like those guys will easily have a bad week. Like you're betting on 4 players versus one result here. So, yeah, I bet ladders. Like, when I really feel like I have an angle, I bet the Mariners today. Yankees were out partying last night. Mariners need to win. Like, whatever. I think I have a little edge there. But I think it could get out of control. So, I'll bet them to win, -2, -3.
And you'll ladder the whole thing.
I'll ladder it. So,
I saw you laddered McBride.
I laddered McBride, and that fully busted. But then at 4 o'clock, I had Daniels. I thought my cap on Daniels was perfect. Like he's going to run week 1 and he ran for 88 yards. And so you're up on the day there. But that's the thing. He easily could have not run. And then I'm down 10 units off 2 bets. Same thing happened with Justice Hill. Justice Hill, I had his over 14.5 rush yards. That hit for 1 unit, but I played him to have 25 for 3 units, him to have 40 for 3 units. So I lost that when he cleared his prop. So you just got to be able to stick with it.
Got to be a tolerance thing. Yeah. That makes more sense.
What's Brees, 3-1 for first?
Plus 350. Plus 310, 20, depending on the spot. Now, the one place I know I'm going to get screwed is on underdog because I wanted to get spicy. So they have his first touchdown at like 2.1 or something, but they have a first quarter touchdown at 2.4. And I was like,
damn.
I was like, it is a lower total, so the odds of him, like the first touchdown could come in the second quarter, but I felt like it was worth the juice for me to just roll in the first.
I got a question here. Devin said Rodgers is washed, boys. I was thinking about this the other day because we've watched Rodgers and we've watched Kirk Cousins, and I really, really distinctly remember watching Matt Ryan, Big Ben, Phillip Rivers at the end of their careers.
Yeah.
And their arms were shot. Like, they couldn't throw the ball with, like, more than a high school men's fastball, like, velocity, right?
Yeah.
But, like, Kirk and Rodgers' arms both look fine. Cousins is a little inaccurate right now. I think his timing needs a little bit of work, obviously. But in terms of, like, velocity and power, it looks okay. Rodgers' arm looks great. Like, with those types of dudes, where does the fall off happen? Is it like just inaccuracy all over the place, inaccuracy downfield?
I feel like I have a perfect answer for it. And you played, so you might know better. But just from watching,
because Matt Ryan went from like good arm to like what is happening right now.
They still have the good arms, and that's why I'm not selling either of those teams or quarterbacks. It's they haven't regained the confidence to throw down the field.
Okay.
Like Rodgers has missed guys running naked down the field. Kirk, we saw it with, was it McLeod or Mooney running behind?
Yeah.
They're just not even, they just don't have that confidence. So I think that's the thing. We still trust it. Ryan might have had the confidence, but he physically couldn't get it there. Yeah. Same with Big Ben. They have that. They just got to regain it. And it could come at any moment. Like Aaron Rodgers could throw a 50-yard touchdown tonight. I mean, he did it to Lazard, right?
Yeah.
But that's a play he knew was a free play. So he was probably just playing. The same way Kirk just played on the final drive.
Yeah.
You could see those guys have reactivated their confidence when they're not thinking. But when they've been thinking or when they're under pressure, that's when they're just checked down, get it out quick. I don't want to get hit.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting conversation to have, especially when you're looking at when it happens, because I know that was like the big part of your question there is like, how do you know when someone's going to fall off, when they're not, and where you can like kind of see that. Obviously, from a body perspective, you look at the older players and you look at how they've played, the hits they've taken in the past. Like a Cam Newton was easy to see the fall off. His back was starting to go, all that sort of stuff. But someone like a Matt Ryan, where he sits in the pocket his entire life, sees maybe 20 hits the entire year. You look at him, why is he falling off so hard? I think a lot of it, one is like a new scene with new timing, with new coordinators, with new players is a huge difference compared to when you've been using Julio Jones your entire life. You have the same rotation of guys coming in and out. You know what to expect out of your normal practice routines, all that sort of stuff. You go to the same facility every day. You do all that.
The case for Kirk and Rodgers, though, if you think about it.
Oh, no. And that's why I think like Kirk's going to be a little off for a few weeks. Like he's not going to get into a groove. And he also really hasn't been practicing that much. Like they've kept him very bubbled with his practice because an Achilles injury isn't something to fuck with. So for him, it could take a few weeks for him to really get that timing down, for him to really understand. And we might not see it. And that's another thing that we have to think about. He's like, not super old, though, to the point where I'm like, it's almost like a lock. Like he still has a few.
His arm feels like it still is popping it. You don't watch him and be like, oh, he doesn't have it left in the tank.
Not as much though. Like I can see Rodgers, the way his arm's working, it looks like nothing's changed to me.
Correct.
Rodgers also is always. Here's another thing that we like also should be looking at. Rodgers always thrown off his back foot. And that's not the foot that tore his Achilles.
That's true.
So he's used to throwing one leg, 1 foot down the field. That's his normal. Kirk's not used to not being able to throw off his back foot. So a little bit of like less pop is simply not coming from that back push that he used to have. And I think that'll be over time.
On the final drive against Philly, I think it was the out to Mooney. Like that ball was a little late.
Yeah.
It was just
But that didn't feel like the arm. That felt like the timing. That felt like
that's reps.
I felt like he just didn't get it there like he could.
I think that's more
again,
reps.
Whether or not it was timing or the arm, that's the issue. And with Rodgers, I don't really see that. Like, I'm confident he can get that ball outside the hash to Wilson.
But I also think, like, Kirk, I don't know that I ever felt like I watched Kirk and thought that his arm felt so much better than what I've seen in Atlanta so far.
Agreed. Yeah.
But, like, Rodgers, his arm, you watch him throw it against San Fran, you're like, holy fuck. Like, he's still got the pop there.
He still can sling the rock.
Yeah, and I think
you
about
brought
watching
up Cam Newton. When he was playing, I was like, guys, how could you even call a play for them? You don't have to guard past the sticks.
Yeah, and I remember Matt Ryan's deterioration and like his arm turned into spaghetti at the end of his career, and I was like, he can't like deliver.
Flacco never lost the arm.
A lot of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it just like, are we gonna know if they fall off, or are they just gonna pick up one day and retire?
Yeah, no, it's also tough to call because a lot of it is just shoulder like recovery, and a lot of guys don't, especially in the early 2000s, didn't give it really much of a shit until later in their career when they really started like revamping. And by then, his arm's noodled because he's thrown however many balls, and now he's 40 years old. It just isn't going to be there. And again, he's also not the biggest of guys either. So I don't think like the muscle mass really could have helped him out a ton there either. A guy like Phillip was interesting though, because like he's a huge dude, so you expect him to always kind of have that. But I think that was also part of his like the way his throwing motion was really weird.
Yeah. But Peyton, he lost it.
Yeah, Peyton.
I would even say Tom lost
That's what I mean. Like it would have been so easy to just see Kirk and Rodgers get back on the field and be like, they look like late stage Peyton. They look like late stage.
Rodgers looks kind of still defined though. Like when you look at him, like in like the facility and stuff, like his arms are still built. Like he still looks like he's a lot of muscle tone. Like he looks still there, which is crazy for a 40-year-old. Where when you saw Peyton at the end of his career, you're like, that looks like a dad. Yeah. And you're like, he's out there at the cook.
Watching Peyton that last
year. You're like, he needs to be on the like grill.
It's like putting a horse down. Like, you just know it's time. Like, come on, buddy.
Yeah, like if you can't have your quarterback in the gym doing reps, like, and you can see it like on his body that he's still physically in shape, it's tough to like really trust his arm out there.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for my $10,000.
Just in time for JMO to leave.
Yeah, exactly. Lock of the night. I gave out Jalen Waddle plus 8.5 receiving yards versus Tyreek Hill. Last week, everyone said fading Tyreek was crazy. Besides Gut. Gut was in agreement with me. You make me nervous with the over the middle of the field, and it's probably a little correlated, so I maybe should be on Pop Douglas here, but Hunter Henry lower, 34.5 receiving yards. I've been in between receptions and yards here. I went through the numbers. Henry has yet to cross this. He he has gotten to 35 plus yards without reaching 4 receptions, but he has not gotten to 4 receptions without. So it probably makes more sense to take under 3.5 receptions, but it was a little juice to it. So I'm just playing the under 34.5 here. People are excited because he was all over red zone and all over.
Yeah, no, people are on this play like
they're
crazy.
all over Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
And if it was something where week 1 he had 8 targets and people were like, okay, maybe he is going to be stable, he had 2 targets. Yeah. And I think this is just a fade of, Hunter Henry, him bouncing back to the mean. I actually had Jacoby's under longest completion last week, which was 31.5, and Hunter Henry took a screen 35 yards.
That's why. So that was like my play with Kirk.
Yeah.
It was like Kirk ended up ripping one downfield, but Mooney made a play after. When you have dudes like Bijan or Kyle Pitts, like screen games kind of extraordinaires, that's where I feel like a lot of those big plays end up popping.
Yeah. But a thing to look at, I mean, especially now with all the too high safety talk and limited big plays, but that was Mike McDonald's staple. So every quarterback who plays Seattle, I'm taking their under longest completion. I mean, it would have hit last week had it not been a tight end screen. So yeah, I'm rolling with the double H's under. Breece Hall first touchdown and Boobie Gibson.
And the Henry plays like your whale max, like that's you're putting everything on it.
The Breece is my whale.
The Breece is going to be your whale? Okay.
No, I did give Nick a backup first touchdown. If you want something longer on FD, you can play it without special teams and you get 35-1. On other places, it's going to be like 18-1 with special teams. But Jets defense, wacko line. Yeah. We're also so due. As someone who bets every primetime first touchdown scorer, we're so due for a defense.
100%.
When was the last time a defense has scored first in primetime? It's got to be a long time.
No, it's not that. It's not that long. It happens a little more. I mean, it only needs to happen once every 35 games. So
wasn't Browns Jets not too long ago where that was like all defensive scores or something?
Yeah, I mean, last touchdown in week 1 last year was a punt return for the win. So. Yeah.
That's interesting. And are you gonna tail that first touchdown?
Well, last week we cooked. We almost cooked a retirement.
Hamlin was a literal fingertip away.
Far away from
the A-chain was a bad. I mean, we
got ahead of ourselves there. Yeah. Like we didn't believe in that play. We were just like, oh, let's take the injury discount.
Yeah, I think it could. Well, it could have made sense. It just didn't.
He just got fed.
Yeah, he got fed.
Yeah,
which. Would have actually given me more confidence that he could have gotten hurt even more.
Well, yeah, I guess what I'm saying is like we didn't believe that he would go under. We were just like he's going to be banged up.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a full bet on injury.
Yeah. But us not really knowing his status felt like bad process there.
Yeah,
fair.
No. We were just like, fuck it.
If we had completely full faded Tyreek based off matchup and historical, that would have made
that's what I mean. Like we just threw that in there.
All right, so let's cook our lotto slip.
Get my phone.
I'm throwing Breece in there. It's just got to be Breece first touchdown. But do we want to do first or did they pull it? Oh, they pulled it. They pulled my first quarter. Oh, no, they still have it. What do you think? First touchdown or first quarter? I guess if we're building a lotto, we can just do first.
Yeah, I think first would be smarter for that.
Okay. Anyone else have a lotto that they love?
We're going first quarter or
first
touchdown?
First touchdown.
He's only 2-1 on UD.
I know. Brother. Nah, when you start multiplying it,
it masks it. But it doesn't make it right.
G-Will to have 100 yards is 2.34.
Dude, I love the longest rushes. Like,
yeah,
can you juice those though?
No,
they're not juiced.
Like,
they're
remember,
just like solid.
we did an A-chain alt and a DeMar INT, so we got to get juiced here.
Okay. I like the Garrett 100. I think he could. But it's also like he's their only target where DK was like you had him and JSN and Lockett to worry about. You ain't worried about Lazard.
Do we want a ladder pop?
We could ladder pop. I'd feel good about that. Then he catches one ball for 6 yards and we're sad, but I definitely am down to try it. He's a 26.5. It's crazy. Ladder him up
I was loving. I mean, is this insane? What? Antonio Gibson, 74.5 yards.
Yeah, that's
5.75 though.
That's not.
Would that be crazy if he had 30 rushing and 50 receiving?
Yeah,
50 receiving is a lot.
It is a lot.
Like
He's done it
against
before.
the Jets defense.
He did it
like
a couple times last year at 80 yards. And
yeah,
He was good in the screening game for Washington.
Yeah. Okay. I have one.
I think I would rather do.
So bad.
I'd rather do Doug at
Gibson's
like.
longest reception is 5.5 yards.
So you're like.
That feels good.
Really?
Yeah. 5.5 longest reception.
Feels so good.
Agreed. Like one little screen.
All right, we'll
What's
rip
the
that.
reception line?
1.5.
You're gonna get 2 catches.
And the higher is juiced. I
What?
think. Do we ladder that?
Oh, can you?
Yeah. We can ladder that up to fucking 2.5.
Wait, 4 catches is 7 point.
Yeah.
Love. Absolutely obsessed.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me just check if he can get. He can get 4 catches. Can he?
Yeah.
It's
I mean, it's a
tough.
high number for a backup running back, sure, but
It's. Ramondre gonna have to blow his knee.
I mean, he's
out.
played 2 games. He has 1 target on the season. Last year.
he only has 1 target on the year. I thought he did like 90 yards last week.
Yeah, rushing. Yeah.
Oh, he's covered.
All right, but
Yeah, he had
time out,
11
time out.
carries last week.
All right, last year.
This is different team
And a whole different
What's
like
that matter?
everything.
because he had a role there that was.
I feel like he's carved out a role after last week. That's what we're betting on here.
Yeah.
Is that he has carved out the pass catching role.
I mean, he had 1 target, and Ramondre had 5 last week.
But they were leading.
Who
They
the fuck
weren't-
was that Irvin Charles ass motherfucker?
Yeah,
that
we're
you
not
put?
putting.
That's
him in.
it, like-
All right, just listen though.
That feels like a bot.
Last
That's like
last
that's like
year,
someone from Madden's a 56 overall.
last year, October 29th, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 games. He went 5 catches, 5 catches, 5 catches, 3 catches, 4, 5.
Yeah.
You talking about
he was
Gibson?
the clear third down role last
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
I don't think he has that role right now.
Why don't we ladder it up?
What if the Jets blow him out?
Yeah.
Then I would feel more comfortable with Ramondre catching passes if I'm going to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. He's used way more in the passing game right now, and he's a screen guy.
The reason why I don't think they would go Ramondre is because his line is 2.5, and his number is 16.5. Like he
Would you
just
take
has no
a-
juice.
Would you take Ramondre rushing
Irvin
touchdown for
Charles.
juice? Instead of total,
It's just like betting on a team that's supposed to score 1 touchdown in the game.
Yeah.
I love Gibson tonight. Tony might have fucked me.
Let's say Gibson 3. Let's
Wait,
do
does
that.
Chad have anything to say about this? Henry
Not
over
disrespect
50.
Henry over
Irvin
50.
Charles special team fucking good. Has he ever scored a touchdown in his life?
I'm just saying, if we do Gibson to have 4,
Yo.
is it just
Wait.
4 bags?
Wait. What if we did instead Braylon over on his longest reception is only 7.5. But you could
But
take
he could do a game without catching a ball though.
yeah.
Like he could be totally not involved.
Unless we take his
Brees' first
Let's-
touchdown with Gibson to have 4 catches is 47-1.
unless you want to take Braylon to get 50.
Fucking kidding me?
Company rev about to go crazy.
Braylon to go 50.
I might throw 2 bands on this and just win 100.
Stop.
Is that out of?
So what are you throwing on?
It's as simple as Brees first and Gibby 4.
Okay, yeah, you do that.
Brees first, Gibby 4. That's it. You're just capping it there.
I mean,
47-1. Yeah, that's fair.
we could get one more in there.
So, are you gonna flex? Are you
G-Will
gonna put?
Hunt.
Are you gonna put
If I-
flex it and then put one more?
If I put one more, I would flex it. Like a G-Will 100 or so I'm either G-Will 100 or
Why do you say it like that? Well, hunt it.
or I have a disgusting one and just tell me no so I
Okay.
don't have to click it. Mike Williams touchdown.
Yeah, stop.
Okay, all right.
He's due.
He's due.
Who do you like? Yeah, God, give us a.
My sneaky touchdown score was going to be Jalen Polk again. He's a guy they constantly look to in the end zone. If they're going to score a touchdown, it's probably going to be through the air tonight. He's not going to probably have sauce on him. He'll be on
Jalen Polk has 4 targets in 2 games. I mean, this
And a
New
touchdown.
England team is
So
I'm
He's
not
not-
laughing at your play. I'm
no,
laughing
yeah,
at
like that's
what
why I said
they're-
long shot. Like it's deep in the bag if he's going to get one. But if I'm going to take a shot at somebody, probably would be him. I mean, KJ's not a bad shot for the value.
KJ
Osborne, yeah.
They just have so many NPCs. that,
They
like,
literally,
have
their entire receiving core outside of Dougie, I feel like is just
to
bots.
pick.
But Polk's kind of him, and he's a rookie. He'll get better. Wow. If you put it if you put this 3-legger,
Should we grab
you're like this. This will be like maxing out.
Yeah. No. Well, don't play it as a straight. You would play it as a flex.
Should we grab a sack here?
Actually,
for
you
New
could.
York,
like
a Willie McDonald's.
Yeah. Could. What about Raji's to throw for 3 tugs? That feels aggressive.
Yeah, that feels nuts.
What about
Sneaky touchdown scorer Tyler Conklin.
when I woke
That's
up
not even
this,
sneaky.
no, when I woke
He's
up
just
this
goated.
morning, he was speaking to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Conklin?
That was your first read, and that's why you picked
No,
it off.
G Will was the first read, then Conklin.
What do Jack's parents do for a living?
My mom just retired.
Go.
Dub.
Congrats.
Brees with vulture protection and Allen to score on the same ticket is a nice cheat.
Not really, because if Allen doesn't score, you're cooked.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're doing Allen to score,
If you flex it. Like
if you're doing Allen to score, you should play Brees, I think is probably
Yeah.
what they're saying. McDonald's 2 sacks isn't a prop. It's a Happy Meal.
that's a good ass
That's
fucking
so
thing.
good.
All right.
Chuck Clark probably has an interception tonight. Just calling that straight from, from the nuts.
All right, we gotta go because we gotta wrap it up because we got trip. We gotta film.
That's facts.
All right. G Will, Hunnit.
Okay,
Or,
Will Hunted.
or Keon White or McDonald sacks. Your call. Or just Booby and Brees
Willie
as a
McDonald's
straight.
coming off a
Booby and Brees.
3-sack game.
And Keon has 6 in his first,
Keon's
4
the-
in his first.
Yeah, Keon's goated right
Yeah.
now. I would just rather put a sack against the New England O-line right now.
Yeah.
And I guess that's
That would be.
Will McDonald their best pass rusher right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's him or Quinnen, but Quinnen's been doubled. I feel like Quinnen could get one, though. Should we
could.
ride Quinnen?
Yo, I
Feels
thought
like we should, but that feels like a bot play a little bit.
Does it? I feel like people might be overthinking it. Like, oh, he's doubled. He doesn't have one this year. Like,
All right, fuck it. Let's ride Quinn.
Quinn.
Let's ride Quinn, dog.
All right. That gets us to. Wait, did they?
you guys
pull
going-
Gibson?
It took it out of mine, but I was able to put it back in.
Okay. That's what
Do
you
you guys
said.
use the? Do you guys use the profit boost? I should take this off, right?
Yeah, don't stop with the
Cap.
profit boost
What do
on
you
like
mean?
these long ass Johns.
What do you mean?
That's the time you like just want to rip it
You
regularly.
think I won't put 2 G's on this motherfucker right now?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wait, why won't it let me?
All right. Are we flexing?
Literally, why won't it let me fucking put
What
more than
about-
25?
Bro's limited. He's too sharp. It's a good
Now
sign.
I gotta fucking add them all back again.
El Bozo.
Oh my gosh!
All right. So it's 100x.
Yep.
Straight up.
Yep.
Flex 49x. Should we just play it straight?
Just say fucking we ball. How much you put on it?
What's his name? Maverick?
Yeah.
Put 1,000 on it. Mommy gonna Venmo me. She gonna send me the money.
Mom's gonna. Yo, mom, I need some extra bread.
Mom, I need some extra bet. I swear, Antonio
Like, it's
Gibson
a
is gonna
lock.
have 4 catches
Like
tonight.
it's a lock.
What do you flexing this? Or, or straight up?
What I like to do, I like to play half and half. So if, let's say I wanted to do 100 on it, I would do 50 as a flex and 50 as a straight.
So you bet it twice.
Yeah. But you can hit reuse players pretty easy.
All right, let's ride that.
All right.
I should just say fuck it. Put it all on. Just ride it.
Just ride it?
Yeah, just see what happens.
You're not riding it? Damn. We were so close last week.
Yeah, that's right. The closest we'll get.
God don't want that on his picket record.
Fuck, man.
Oh wait,
What happened?
I gotta wait 30 seconds to put it back on again.
All right, we're locked in.
All right, we're locked in. Make sure you take the locks below. And make sure to come back and tell us how bad we did. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Braylon gets in on if he's the first touchdown, I'm gonna lose my mind.
That'll be tough, Cookie.